Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We've got an unboxing today of a product I've been waiting for a good long time from Multi-Man Publishing. This is The Greatest Day, Utah Beach, Battle for Normandy Volume 2. This is part of Adam Starkweather's Grand Tactical series, which is a company-scale game. The series honcho is now Joe Chacon, who is one of the three designers, along with Tom Holliday and Vincent Lefavre. Don't know if I'm getting that right. In the box, this actually came with a little explanatory half sheet. There's apparently some errata counters for previous games in the series. That's pretty typical for Multi-Man. It also says remaining counters can be used in other GTS games as well as this. So this might be the heaviest single wargame box I have ever obtained. This is really heavy. It is in the flat box, the 2-inch flat box, which has been used for some, but not all, other games in the series, including Operation Mercury, which is a sizable game on its own. As you can see, we have a visitor here who is being very demanding as usual. Right. Being very demanding. That's right. Go away. I don't have a door on this room right now, or I would be able to throw her out and lock her out for the moment. But it's exactly what it sounds like. It's Utah Beach. I'm not going to read the things off the back of the box because we are going to see the contents of the box momentarily, which should include some kind of informational card. So before we do anything else, don't cut yourself on the knife, you silly beast. There we go. All right, we're going to see how annoying she gets. She's pretty annoying, so, and it's not that there's no food or anything for her, or she needs the litter box cleaned or anything like that. She's just being very needy. This is going to look great on the shelf with the other three flat box GTS games, I should say. And as is also fairly typical for Multi-Man, the pieces will be kind of separated inside. We do get a baggie. I wonder what the D6 is for. That's interesting. This is a D10-based system. So we get 4 dice. We got 5 dice. We got 4 D10s and a D6. We get the little card that tells us what's in the game. This should contain 1 full-color Grand Tactical System Series Rulebook 2.0C, 1 full-color Greatest Day Utah Beach exclusive rules, 3 Greatest Day Utah Beach scenario booklets, 1 GTS rules summary, 16.5 counter sheets of 5/8" counters, 2 full-size maps, 2 double-sided full-size maps, 1 11x34" map, which is a long, narrow one, a full-color double-sided 11x17 map sheet, 3 map overlays, which will be the beach overlays, I would imagine, 3 full-color double-sided player aid cards, terrain effects charts as well, and another 14 player aid cards, which are pretty much going to be the divisional displays. Now, we've already got errata in here. I don't see anything incredibly alarming at the moment. There's some relatively minor stuff for the scenarios and some clarifications and stuff, so that's all no big deal. And then we're going to get a whole pile of stuff here. Grand Tactical Series 2.0. It says 2.0C on the thing. This feels different. It feels like they're using a different paper stock. 40 pages, satin finish paper, full color. I see the mat's not doing great with her on it. Lots of people, if you look at this book, you'll see that it appears to be using the case system of organization, but that's not really the case. Come on, baby. All right, baby. All right, there's multiple cats in the room now, so I think we'll be at peace for just a moment. The case system as used in GTS is fairly loose. I am not an incredibly huge fan of the way in which the rules are laid out in this system. The system itself is quite easy to play, however. And as you can see, it's 2-column. Looks pretty different from a lot of other MMP stuff, to be honest about it. I think if this looks anything like other stuff from MMP, it's probably GCACW, just in terms of rules layout and stuff. But in any case, that's 40 pages. Everything's covered in cat hair now. Here's the Greatest Day Utah Beach exclusive rules. Cool picture on the cover. We've got a little infographic of all the different units. We've got the Renault car. And then this is going to contain not the scenarios. Apparently there's another separate scenario book, which we already saw. So this is the exclusive rules, which there's kind of a lot of, to be honest. But In GTS, things like the different terrain types are in the exclusive rules rather than in the series rules. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff here for airdrops. This is not the first appearance of airdrops in this system, however. The Greatest Day Gold, Juno, and Sword, the previous game in the series, has that as well. There's a lot of exclusive rules here. There's some optional stuff too. There's things like these random events, which are usually pretty fun. Ferries, jeeps, which can be used to truck units around, potentially including some other things. We're going to see, as soon as I can get a map here, we could see an extensive bibliography, which looks good, including some stuff for Mr. Joe Belkowski, which is not at all surprising. All right, we're going to start to look at the counter sheets. I'm fishing for a map here so I can put a map down. There's going to be a lot of counter sheets and a lot of player aids. Scenario Book 2, Advanced Scenarios. We'll look at that in a second. Counter sheets, a lot of counter sheets in here, folks. This looks like either like an annex map or a scenario map. Looks like an annex map to me. Here's the also trademark blank sheet of paper from MMP. That doesn't bother me, of course. There's no good reason for it to bother anybody, but it is just one of those idiosyncratic things that MMP does. Here's the Grand Tactical Series Rule Summary. I'll be honest, though, I kind of feel like once you get the hang of GTS, you hardly need to look at the rules at all. That was certainly my experience playing Market Garden. There's that. Here's our half sheet. Errata counters up top. Feels like there's a little bit of a different finish on this than on previous MMP counter sheets that I've seen. This is a fairly marker-heavy system. There's going to be a lot of markers and a lot of units, too, to be fair. Here's Campaign Book, Scenario Book 3. Holy cow. Okay. All right, so what we've got here is one of the kind of maps that are toward the middle. I'm not sure if you're seeing it in frame or not, but here's the beach, or part of the beach. And here we have inland, a bunch of places that I'll probably pronounce fairly badly. But here's, of course, St. Mary-Glease right here. And I want to say these symbols are probably the drop zones for the airborne. I believe Carentan is going to be on this map, too. Now, along with a giant pile of... And these have kind of a nice matte finish. I like the way these feel. Nico has Scooby-Dooed the maps, as usual for Nico. I think these look amazing. There's also this single-sided map, which is Campaign Map F. This is going to add on to the edge of the maps somewhere else in the game. There's also 2 beach displays. Now, for those who don't know, at Utah Beach, they actually ended up landing at a different site down the beach from where they had planned to land. And I don't know the mechanism by which the game determines which beach you land at yet, but this gives you a display for each one. So you'll only end up using one of these. And you can see that I don't know what terrain this is right here, but that's kind of in the middle here. So if we were to overlap these, you'll see here's where they planned to land. Right about here is where they actually landed. And where they planned to land was more heavily defended. Now, there are not 1, not 2, but 3 scenario books. Scenario Book 1, Learning, Introductory and Intermediate Scenarios, Campaigns, Advanced Scenarios, and Campaign Scenarios. So there's a lot of material here. This is probably a big factor of why this whole game is so heavy. We can see scenario map layouts, Learning Scenario, Battle for Breakcore Manor. Those of us who watch Band of Brothers will be familiar with that. 2 introductory scenarios that are just the beach displays, which is, again, something carried over from Gold, Juno, and Sword. Introductory Scenario 3, and then there's an introductory and intermediate scenario map. So there's displays on the back here to show you what all the different scenario maps look like. I feel like there's so much here, I might not even be able to go through all of them. Well, I can at least look at the list. So learning scenarios, there are 2. Battle for Breakcore Manor and the Battle for the Batteries. There are 4 introductory scenarios. We'll start the war right here. Storming Utah, Voie de la Liberté, Kilometer 0. the race to defend St. Mary-Glees, stick to the plan. Then there are 6 intermediate scenarios, 3 advanced scenarios, and 5 campaign scenarios. So this is also fairly typical for MMP in a lot of their series, but for some reason a couple of the games in the GTS series don't do this. Here, as in Gold Juno and Sword, and The Devil's Cauldron, and Operation Mercury, there are a crapload of scenarios. So this book, for example, 64 pages, I'm guessing, 56 pages. Scenario book 2 is almost as big. This is 51 pages. Scenario book 3, which is the campaign scenarios. You can see each of these books also gives you, the setups will be in here as well, gives you the map layouts for the different scenarios, and you can see where the beach overlays go. This is, of course, the full map. I really appreciate Campaign Scenario Book 3. Feels like the thickest one, actually. And it is 72 pages. So, wow, what a lot of game. You're getting... This is expensive, right? I want to say the pre-order price on this was $250. That's a lot, but you're also getting a lot of game. There are player aid cards. We've got terrain effects charts. There's a lot of different kinds of terrain here. No wonder they did this. I wasn't crazy about this when I saw this. So these are the identical charts and tables cards. The notes for the terrain types are on the back of that, and there's a separate terrain effects chart, but that is because it's two-sided, and both sides are filled with different terrain types. So this is probably setting a record for most different terrain types in a GTS game so far. I'm pretty sure. Certainly Market Garden doesn't have this many. Nor does Gold Juno and Sword. But then again, there's a lot of like weird terrain here, like the different kinds of bocage, and how some of the areas inland are flooded. And so that's not hugely shocking. So each, what I will call command, is represented on one of these display cards. And there's a lot of these. And you will track a number of different things like command points and dispatch points. As you can see, we've got 4th and the 9th U.S. Infantry Divisions and the 82nd Airborne. Here's the 90th Infantry Division. 91st German. Here's the Utah Air and Naval display. I do not know how this will work. Keep that by itself. This is the turn record track. This will allow you to run the scenarios from the airdrops happen late at night or early in the morning, if you like, of June 5th. And this runs all the way through June 16th. So, you get, again, a lot of game. We've also got a card for core assets. Not sure I've seen this before. So I'm curious to see how this develops. So there's a lot more... well, not a lot more, but there's more German commands than there are Allied commands, where there's basically 5 divisions and a corps. Generally speaking, I think you may, playing this on an actual table with the full campaign, what you might end up doing is well, I would expect you to be playing in teams. And if you do so, you're probably splitting the map, so you're pulling chits out of 2 cups. This is a chit pull game system. It plays very well solitaire, by the way. And judging from the enormous quantity of scenarios in here, I think you will certainly get your money's worth if you play this. So, counter sheets. There's a half counter sheet. This stuff feels like it's on a bit of a different... this stuff, not so much. This sheet feels a little glossier than this sheet. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But in any case, here's your errata counters for previous games in the series, plus just some extra markers, which I doubt you'll need, but hey, I could be wrong. The counter colors represent the different commands. So this command, for example, this is probably the 82nd. Am I right about that? Yep, that's the 80. That's 101st. Yeah, this is the 101st. Is this color? This color right here is 90th. I don't recognize the symbol. It's not the 4th. You got this other sort of light green, like blues and blacks and stuff like that tend to be Germans in this system. Here's some blue guys. These are Germans as well. We got sheets of markers. We're going to have a lot of sheets of markers here. There's bocage markers too. We are currently playing the related company scale system, also from Adam Starkweather, but in this case from Compass Games. And I like certain things about that better, and I like certain things about GTS better. We get some more Germans here, I'm sure. This is the 82nd in this rather very green. And here we have some upside down guys. This up here is 5th Corps. This entire sheet might be 5th Corps, I'm not sure. The light's not great, and I don't want to stick my big gross head in the camera to figure out who's who. But a lot of counters. This stuff is on a pretty thick, I would say medium thick white core stock. More markers. These are Achtung Minen counters. They're danger mines. Okay, and there's mines on the back too. That's kind of cool. And we've got rubble counters. I think those might be new as well. So a lot of game here. There's a lot going on in the Greatest Day Utah Beach. This has been a long time in playtesting and a long time coming. I think there was some, probably some challenges in the development. I know they went back and playtesting was very extensive, and the map was supposedly ready to go about 4 years ago. But I wouldn't be shocked if they made some additional additions since then, or changes since then. There's this plastic divider to kind of keep all the stuff apart. I think I might hang on to that for now. Not strictly necessary, but there's so much stuff in here. I mean, this is going to go securely on my shelves for now because I have other stuff in the way. So unless we start talking about playing this immediately, which seems not incredibly likely, I won't get to clipping it all that soon. I definitely want to include this handy-dandy errata material and the dice. I've got a special set of customized, personalized GTS dice, which, of course, because they're my dice, they roll like complete trash. So she's back now to wish us a great rest of the day. This has been the Greatest Day Utah Beach 2024 Multi-Man Publishing.
Massive thanks to the patrons of Ardwulf's Lair, whose support and encouragement make what we do at Ardwulf's Lair possible. Thank you, patrons. Links to help support the channel are in the video description, so check out the Patreon, the Ko-Fi, and the merch store, where you can get snazzy Ardwulf's Lair t-shirts, drinking vessels, and other cool swag. There is also an affiliate link for Noble Knight Games in the video description. If you buy stuff through that affiliate link, it helps us support the channel with Noble Knight store credit. Thank you, Noble Knight. Until next time, thanks for watching, and happy gaming.